I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You're listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back once again to Blame Your Brother, episode 155. We are back once again every Thursday night, 8 p.m. at blameyourbrother.tv. Come hang out with us, or if you miss it, catch the podcast on Friday. We are Blame Your Brother. There are three of us that come to you every week. I am one third of that trio. I am David, a.k.a. D. Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%, Lynn Jackson, the spiritual midget, the dream killer, and I'm joined by this gentleman here who sits to the left of me. It's my actual brother. It's Lee.
What up, everyone? It is the real Nick Nickum, of course, the one and only LeBron Safety Pin.
And now this guy sits way over to the right. It's John.
John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. the sole operator of the Disappointment Cannon, the corny one, Mr. PTI, the madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman. They do a madman. Okay, he's a madman.
That's right. So we have a very special guest with us tonight. It is Christina Porcelli. Is that how you say it? Christina Porcelli,
Yes.
a.k.a. Wee Wee. So,
Yes.
yeah, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you.
We're here talking about your book, F Them All, Big and Small. Fantastic book. I've read it. We're going to talk. We'll get into all of that. I'm very excited to talk about that and talk about your life. You've done a lot of things, and people are going to want to hear about it. And we'll get all of that in just a second. But we start off every show the same way. We make room for apologies, retractions, omissions, anything we said last week that offended someone or was wrong. And we start with Lee every week. Lee, anything you need to apologize for?
I do. I got ran down for using Notepad, so I guess I have to apologize for Notepad.
There you go.
I don't really think it's that bad, but evidently the forces that be said it was bad.
That's right. We had Amanda Gentry on last week, lawyer in Nashville. People loved her appearance. I was getting a bunch of messages. People loved her. So if she's watching or listening, thanks for coming on. We learned a lot about the law, and she had some good stories, so that's good. John, what about you?
I can't think of anything.
So I have an apology, not for me, but it was.
Of course not.
Conor. So we talked about Conor McGregor punching the old guy, and I said, hey, the old man deserved it. Okay, if a celebrity comes up, offers you a drink, you take the drink. I am not apologizing for that, but he did apologize to the old man this week. Conor McGregor did, probably to get out of jail time, get probation, but it is what it is. So that's it. That's all I got.
Well, thank you for sharing.
I live in a world where I defend celebrities punching people. That is just the world we need to live in, is what I think.
Think about the old guys, man. Jeez.
He's a common man. Get out of the way. If any celebrity comes and offers you a drink, Lee, would you take it? Would you take the drink, yes or no?
He's out. Yes, I would take a whiskey shot. But listen, what if this man had been he had his 12-year AA token?
Why are you in a bar hanging out?
Maybe he has friends there.
Okay, yeah, he has friends in the bar.
Like you have to test he's so confident with his AAs. Like, yeah, I can hang out with a bar now. It's cool.
One shot won't kill you. I mean,
it might kill an alcoholic.
Nah, they'll be fine. They'll go back the next week. All right, we're going to get started then. So like I said, we got Wee Wee on the show. We got this book, F Them All, Big and Small. It is basically, it's your life story. The tagline is a true inspirational comedy about dreaming big, manifesting the impossible, and a valuable lesson my grandmother taught me. So I want to start off with the title.
Yes.
So did you get any pushback for putting an expletive in the title for whoever published this book? Were they like, hey, maybe you need to change the title, or were they cool with it?
Well, I self-published the book.
Oh, so no problem.
I was the one in charge. But I have had a few people tell me like, oh, we might have a hard time marketing this with you because of the F word. But there's a lot of books with the F word.
That's true.
Like Calm the F Down.
Yeah.
And there's tons.
Yeah, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F is another one.
Yeah, we're all F'd.
Yeah, there we go. So
why leave it at the F though? Why not just go ahead and complete it?
Can we?
Yeah, you can.
I'm sure.
Oh, we can curse.
Yeah, you can curse. Yeah, fuck them all, big and
Okay,
small. That's what it is.
Fuck them all, big and small.
Is that actually the name of the book?
Fuck them all, big and small.
Okay,
I mean, when you Google it, you can Google F them all. You don't have to write the whole thing. But if you do Google it, you have to put the little asterisk star where the U would be. But that's my grandmother's saying. That's where it came from. She would say that at the dinner table on Sundays.
Sounds like a lady after my own heart.
Yes, your grandmother's very important in your life. I mean, was there.
Is it like followed by rub-a-dub-dub? Thanks for the scrub.
Well, she didn't say it like when I was an infant.
Sure.
She waited till I was like
2
years old.
Let's wait till she starts repeating stuff.
Exactly.
So this follows your life, and you have done a lot of things. And I don't know if people know this or not, but I've put it out there on social media. You obviously have, but you're on a reality TV show. You want to tell them about what the show was? I was on
VH1's Dating Naked.
Yeah.
Yes. So I dated 3 guys naked.
So I know you got questions, right?
Well, were the guys naked too?
Everyone was naked.
How did? Was it? Did the product on it's VH1, right?
It's VH1. We were blurred out on on national TV. It's blurred out, except your butt is not blurred out.
The product was like you felt like an accurate representation of what happened at these dates, or
no,
But as far as the nakedness goes,
yeah. The reason for the nakedness, the explanation was because you leave all your material possessions behind, and so you're vulnerable. But it actually is very humorous and embarrassing and just weird,
yes, very weird.
Would any of you have done it?
I auditioned for the show, but they said come back when we name the show "Dating While Wearing a Paper Bag." So I'm waiting, but now I'm married, so that's oddly enough that's how I met my wife
on the show.
No, with a paper bag in my head, so it comes back around.
So so you dated 3 guys.
3 guys naked.
What were the just break it down?
And it's not
for us.
Regular date. You don't go to the movies or
just in a basement somewhere. Play Twister.
It was on a tropical island.
We were in Panama on a deserted island, and so one of my dates
to the movies. What movie?
Yeah.
Now you see me.
Yeah, we didn't go to dinner. But yeah, we got into this clear Zorb, and we paddled into the water. They just want to make you look like an idiot, basically.
Yeah. It sounds like a naked version of was it Fifth Wheel or Blind Date?
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like that. Yeah. It was. They give you lots of alcohol and they want you to, kind of embarrass yourself. But I tried not to drink that much, so this way I can contain myself. I'm already embarrassing myself with my butt on national TV. But it was a fun experience. It was one of the best experiences of my life, I think.
Did you get out of it what you wanted going in? Did you, first off, did you really audition for this?
I did.
Casting call?
Yeah.
Show up? What's that process like?
It's on the book, by the way.
Yeah, it's in the book. Yeah,
go ahead.
Don't say too much.
I don't want to give too much, but basically I wanted to be on TV and I wanted to find love because I was single for 2 years. And so the show came up and I auditioned for it. I didn't know it was naked. I did not sign up knowing I had to be naked. And then they were like, we love you, but you got to take your clothes off. And this is what the show is about. And I was like, all right, why not?
That's kind of creepy. They didn't have a black leather sofa in the corner or anything? No. That feels a little weird. Well, by the way.
Yeah. Well, in the book, she describes the experience of going to it, and it sounded a little bit weird. It was don't call anybody, don't do anything, don't tell anybody where you're at. We're going to come pick you up in this van. I would have been
What?
I was like, I'm definitely dying. If this is not what I think it is, I'm never coming back.
Quick question. Did you feel the same way when we invited you to the podcast?
Yes, I did. They were like, come around the back. And then I was thinking, oh my God, what if this is what if
that's not a euphemism for anyone that's, we don't want you to come around the back, just,
Oh, boy.
Yeah, when they told me, they were like, come around the back. And I'm like, this looks like a murder scene. I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to be.
We've heard that before, unfortunately.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But hey, it's fine. You're alive right now.
In this day and age,
That's
right
true.
Now.
You don't know. I told that to someone, and they just laughed. They go, so you've done 150 episodes with guests and everything, just where you could trap one person. I was like, okay, it does seem a little bit absurd, but yes, you never know.
You never know.
Now, I like the snack you had on the plane, which surprised me very much. Do you have any she had a certain chip brand, I guess you could say, that she had on the plane. What do you think it would be? She had alcohol.
To take my clothes off.
She had alcohol and a certain kind of chip. Do you have any guess what chips might be?
It's not technically a chip, but it's in the chip aisle.
Bugles, I don't know.
It's close.
Close.
Pork rinds.
It's not too far
That
off.
would have been
pork.
Pork. Just pork.
Oh, it was Funyuns, right?
Yeah, Funyuns.
So, I don't know. That just was weird. It stuck out to me.
You get on a little tiny plane to go to the island, but you don't know where you're going. They don't tell you anything because it's reality TV. And
you have your clothes on at this point, right?
At this point, you have your clothes on, and then they give you rum punch and Funyuns.
So weird.
Very comforting.
Funyuns what you want to eat right before you go on a naked date.
Right? Exactly.
Okay, so the plane lands. At some point, the producer's like, okay, here's your robe.
Not really. They're just like, this is where you're going. They bring you to a house, and they're like, you wait here. It's kind of like you're on like part of the FBI. I don't know. Like they're just like, they give you minimal explanation. They're like, we're gonna take you to this house. You're gonna wait here, and then just stay here until you get further instruction. It's like the weirdest thing. But eventually, they bring you to this little jungle villa, and you stay there. And they're like, okay, go out there, take your clothes off. You're gonna go on your first date, and it's just like, okay, do you have drinks? We were both like, we're like, you have anything to drink? Like,
Funyuns? Maybe some more Funyuns?
It's 10 a.m. and I have to get naked on the beach, like in broad daylight.
Somebody said from the chat, sounds like a night at Epstein's, pretty much. So there you go, right?
That's too soon.
No.
Okay, so you
She's way too old for Epstein.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So you get the show done. You meet this guy. What was the guy's name?
Joe was the main.
Yeah.
It was me and Joe were the main daters. We both date other people, and then at the end we choose who we most connected with.
So you knew. So looking back, how strong was the connection, or were you pressured to have the connection for press coming up for the show?
We did really have a connection, but he was 13 years younger than me, so it was not going to be like a love match.
Maybe
although my
you
husband
were
now,
Epstein.
yeah, exactly. But although my husband now is 9 years younger than me.
Okay.
But at the time, 13 years, it seemed like this is not going to really lead
Right.
to this big love affair or a marriage or anything. But we also, of course, we wanted to be on TV. It's reality TV. We wanted to be like the next like Jersey Shore.
So you say in the book, like, you thought this would be like, this is going to open the floodgates. I'm going to get all these offers, and
nothing
happened.
Zero.
Why do you think that is? I mean, what?
Wow.
Because I think it's because like there's so many reality TV shows, and like I basically was only on like 2 episodes of the season, and I mean, what talent am I really showing? I'm taking off my clothes and like running on a beach. I mean, I'm funny and all, but come on, that's not gonna get me my own show.
This girl's really good at hanging out in a creepy cabin and waiting.
So if you got one of those shows, I looked at the ratings, and I mean,
the ratings were great. They were
like highly rated.
Almost 1 million viewers.
Yeah, it was one of the higher rated couples on the show. So before that though, you grew up with your sister. If people are wondering where you got the nickname from, go ahead and explain that. Yeah.
Well, Wee Wee, my name is Christina, but everybody calls me Chrissy. So my niece could never say Chrissy, so she called me Wee Wee. It's not really that deep of a story. People think like, oh,
right.
What's with the Wee Wee? Is that something sexual? No. It's just a silly nickname my niece gave me.
When I was dating R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Yes.
When he was 13 years older than I was.
Maybe you could come up with a better story for me to
there
tell.
You go.
I think I did.
I think you did.
It's hot and fresh in that kitchen.
Well, I would just say, and once again, please get this book because it's done very funny. But she mentions that as the guys might be concerned about how they would look nude. Like women, can kind of what's going on pretty much. We've talked about this before. You see a woman, you kind of know what she's gonna look like with no clothes on.
No.
A dude, it's a whole nother thing. Like, is it growing? Is it doing what?
But boobs for a woman, you might not know. They might have some like padding or something.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. I mean, I guess.
But I mean, who cares? Like that's
right.
something that can be fixed.
So you said you didn't want to look at first, but that at some point you got to look at some point.
You got to look, but it's awkward. But I did look. But they were all every time I would look, they'd be like, "Listen, it really doesn't look like this in real life. I'm nervous, shrinkage."
Right.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, basically. Nobody, was aroused.
Well, I can imagine.
Because they were nervous.
Never? Not even once?
Never. You're nervous. There's people around. There's people as cameras and a lot of
cameras and alcohol might hinder some things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So you did that, but before you did that, right? You and your sister, Coco, who's your older sister.
Yes.
You guys were going to be a music group, right?
Yeah,
that was before that, right?
Duo.
Yeah. Okay. How did that come about? Like.
My dad is a musical guy. And my mom, they always played music. My dad sang in a group when he was like in his 20s, but we just like naturally could sing. I get. Well, not at first. We kind of sucked actually. Like we weren't the best. We needed help, but we discovered that we could sing and write songs, and so we're like, why don't we just do this for a living? And so we formed a duo. My cousin happened to have connections in the music industry, and he hooked us up with a producer and a studio, and we started recording. And we hustled, though. Like, we hustled big time. And we got ourselves a manager who worked for Island Def Jam. And, yeah, and we recorded an album. We lived in Kansas. I know it's weird. But
that was weird. Yeah, that was weird. Like, we're going to produce your album, but move to Kansas.
Yeah.
You just travel.
What was the name of the album?
We never had, and the album never came out. We never officially came up with a name for the album, but we were called Alon. That was the name of our duo. But a whole big, whatever. We never came out with the album. You got to read the book to find out why.
It's a good story. It's very fascinating.
It's a long-ass story.
Wee Wee just travels wherever without much. She's like, hey, just come here. No details. I'm good to go. It's like, oh, what's the worst that's going to happen,
I'll go to Kansas, whatever.
Right. Whatever.
I mean,
but, yeah, we were a duo, and we were almost, like, on the edge of being the next.
Can you give us a little sample of
one
of your
songs? Not now.
Wow, are you kidding me? What are you doing?
I don't know. Maybe.
That's what you
can
think, but
go
you don't
on
say.
SoundCloud. There, I do have a SoundCloud still out there.
Okay, Elon.
No, well, the SoundCloud is just me because we wound up breaking up as a group, and I did my own solo project, which obviously nothing happened with it.
We'll have to call Coco. We'll have to get like true Hollywood stories from Coco, I guess.
Behind the music.
Well, so I found a picture from the SoundCloud, and I posted it on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And some guy like lost his mind over it. He was like literally like, you need to take that picture down immediately. And I'm just like, do you deal with a lot of haters like that, or have you along the way? Like, what is that like? Like, why do you think these guys come out and I just don't understand it? It's so.
I don't understand it either.
He's probably from Alabama, right?
Write that down, brother, because we apologize for that.
Do you guys have haters, like, when you're doing this?
We had one time.
2 podcasts that are ahead of us from last year that
we hate them.
Yeah, we
hate them. No, we don't hate. Occasionally, occasionally.
But do you care? Like, does it bother you?
No, I love it. I like it.
You got to get haters, like Cat Williams has. If you have 5 haters, you need 10.
Yeah, that's right. I want 150, yeah. And, yeah, I get hate probably more than those two do. But I feel it's just, as a guy, it's more they attack what you say. And as a woman, they attack a lot of times
how you look.
Totally. Which is we've had like news anchors in, and there's you need to fix your hair. What's up with your lipstick? I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah, why do you care? Why do they care?
I don't know. I have no idea.
They have nothing going on at home.
Yeah,
I say so. Right. So you had the singing career. You did the VH1 thing.
VH1, and then I was.
Was social media around during?
Oh yeah, not during the singing.
During the
days.
Naked dating.
Oh yeah.
You didn't cash in on that? You didn't think like, maybe I can get on the social media?
Yeah, a little. Like, people would recognize me. Like, I'd go to like Walmart and people would be like, aren't you that wee wee girl? But that was like the extent of it. Nobody was offering me like movie roles.
No autographs. Did you have like some blurred out pictures you could Sharpie?
No, I told her, like, when she did my old podcast, I was like, you need to be going to conventions. Like, you should have cashed in on that. You could have made some, maybe not great money, but it would have been
decent,
something at the time. Probably now it's, but so you're doing that. You're kind of looking for your way in life, and then you kind of find comedy. Now, me and Lee saw you perform at Zanies, and I remember it. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
How long did you do that? And you mentioned the book, like the reasons you didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I mainly did comedy for like therapy.
Yeah.
Like, I was depressed for a while, so like I was like, I gotta make fun of myself, because if I don't, then I'm never gonna get up and get the strength to do anything. So I did comedy for like about a year, I would say, on and off. Yeah. But it really helped. Like, I love doing comedy, but I just never saw myself like traveling on the road and living that lifestyle, because that is a really hard lifestyle, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What was your approach to comedy? Did you like sit down and write a bunch of material? Was a lot of it improv, or?
I would write out like what I was, like an idea of what I was gonna say, and improv some of it. But I talked about like my family, because I have like a big Italian family, and they're all like wacky.
Pick someone, and that's an hour.
Like my dad, like I could go on about my dad, my mom, like my family, and then also my experience on dating naked. I talked about that a lot.
I remember that. Yeah, it was very good stuff. Well, John's Italian, if you know. John's last name is Tortorello, so so he's happy now.
What's your middle name?
Not Italian at all. William. So you can't get further Italian than that.
Oh, wow. So you're Italian. Do you speak Italian?
Very, very little.
Oh, boy.
Fangu.
See, I don't know.
It's a curse word.
Yeah. I would make up words and tell people that they were curse words.
Like what?
I told somebody that the Phenopoly means fuck you.
It's like Monopoly.
I know, but people bought it. People bought it, and so I was like, I ran with it. I'm like, okay.
What's really weird is some people have called you Wee Wee too before, right?
Oh man.
They reserve that for my nephew. They call him Wee Wee.
Yeah. Well, I think John missed the joke. I liked it, Lee. I give you points on that. 3.5 out of 5 on that one. Okay, so you get into comedy. You're struggling, kind of trying to figure your way in life.
I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do?
Working restaurants,
waitressing.
You work for some chef.
Yes, I almost said his real name, but we won't. That's not really his name in the book.
I figured, I could have looked it up, but I was too lazy. But so you worked for a prominent chef who ended up being on Food Network, and
he was on a lot of he was on big Food Network shows, and he was a drag queen as well. Okay. So I was his personal assistant, and that kind of helped me figure out I was like, I want to be successful like him. He's a drag queen, he's a chef, he's on TV doing all the stuff.
He was nuts in the book. I mean, he was he was crazy.
If you're
a drag queen, don't you have to be nuts? Oh, my bad.
Oh, wow, John.
I mean, did you look at him and go well, I can do that? Did you have those moments, or were you like, well, this guy's
I have real boobs and they look better than that.
But he was talented, right?
He was very talented, hardworking. He was really awesome, but also
demanding,
nuts.
Yeah.
But anybody who is that successful is going to be crazy.
Right.
In some way.
That's the secret. Crazy.
I think so.
And demanding.
So you definitely got to check that chapter. That
chapter is pretty funny.
Because I knew some of this stuff, but it was still fun reading it for me. People are going to love it, I guarantee you. But
thank you.
So then you go with your sister, you're kind of hanging out with her, and then you meet this guy that kind of changes your life, who's your husband wearing a kilt when you met him.
Yes.
And so I want to jump to what I'm most jealous of you about.
Is it a recurring theme? You're a drag queen, then a guy in a kilt.
Yeah, then my husband has a kilt on. I don't know. Maybe one of you are going to come out in a dress in a minute. I don't know.
Lee would. I mean, a second. I'm surprised he's not.
He's got that wizard outfit that you had.
I wish I did. Still working on that one.
So you end up going on Beat Shazam.
Yes.
And if these two guys know you, ever since we were in a band together, we've known each other for a long time. They know
you were in a band, all three.
Yeah, all three of us.
Oh, get out of here.
2 bands.
What kind of music?
Like garage rock, kind of rock, modern rock stuff. And we ended up getting signed to a small record label. It was fun, we had good with it. But the thing I was always good with, if I could tell you, I could name songs fast.
Why have you not gone on Beat Shazam?
I didn't know you could, obviously.
It's still on.
Well, that's true. But here's what I'm going to say. So tell people. So if people don't know, you won $1 million on Beat Shazam.
I have to say me and my husband, because he gets really mad when I just say that I won it.
That's
even
true.
though
You both.
It's all mine.
Well, it is all
Why
your money.
Why are you winking at us when you say you and your husband?
So you won. That was the first people to win $1 million, right?
Okay. We were the first people to win $1 million. Yes.
I'm going to tell you, I played along. You would have beat me. You guys were amazing. It was blowing my mind. And so if you don't know the concept of the show, they play a song and you have to buzz in and identify the title correctly, and they give you choices at first.
Yeah, and you have to play against 2 different teams.
Right, and you smoked those guys. I was watching it going, yeah, these guys suck anyway. I could have beat them by myself. I didn't think they were that good. But you know how that goes. But so you guys moved on, and then so the final round is you got to name the song Beat Shazam. So if you know, Shazam is like an app on your phone. It can identify songs in I think you said
2.5 to 5 seconds.
But you don't have any choices. You have to name the song straight off the title, which you're like, oh, well, that's not. You're you got Hound Dog, and you're like, is it Hound Dog?
Because you're just want to hurry up, and you're like, oh shit, is it?
Or is it? Is it? You were saying, is there something behind it or whatever like that? So. And it kind of builds up like Millionaire. So you win this much and this much. It keeps compounding.
It keeps building.
So you get to the point where you can go for $1 million. And if you miss it, you're going to go back down to what?
Like half of what you already won. Yeah. Which was I think $90-something thousand or whatever.
Now, I didn't mention the book that prior to you coming on this show, and we're going to definitely talk about your mentality and some of your philosophy about life, you and your husband were kind of going through some financial problems. And you said, I'm going to will $1 million into my life. And then she got a text, and it's like, hey, come be on the show, and da-da. So you're at that stage where you're like, let's go for it or not. Take us to was there any part of you going, no, we're just going to walk away with $150,000?
Yeah, because even though I told my husband, I'm going to will us $1 million, and he thought I was nuts, and then the show came up, And at that like when we were at the final moments, when we're like one question away from $1 million, I was like, maybe we shouldn't like risk. We had like 3 figures, whatever it was. I think it was like 100 and.
I think it was 158 or
something
like that.
And I was like, maybe we should just take this money and just run. Because what if I get the question wrong? Then what?
How much pressure was that though?
And only one of us.
I get the? Not if we.
Only one of us get to to guess the $1 million question, not both. Only one, and they picked me to guess it. So I was like,
they did or you? I
mean, my husband and I said,
okay. I thought the producers were like,
no,
you gotta
they
do
can't
it.
they can't tell you anything.
They obviously got it right. It was Tears for Fears.
Yeah, it was Shout.
And you kind of second guessed yourself after.
I did because I was like, is it Shout or is it? I think the secret is like they make it so easy that you like you mess with your own mind. You're like, this can't be this easy. Like
I think I've noticed a lot of times they have some songs on there that are like the title could be questionable, like Don Henley, Heart of the Matter, or is it Forgiveness?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
what is it? See, what is it? Because I don't know anymore.
It's Heart of the Matter.
It is.
But I mean, it's like one of those songs that it could be either one of those titles easily.
And then you mess with yourself. Like I don't know. Don't ask me any titles anymore because after that I was like, we are not listening to anything that has words, or I just can't anymore.
So you did a lot of training before
the show?
Oh my
God, tons of training.
Just like with a stopwatch,
every day. Like get up, like go on Spotify, and I'd be like, you go first. Like we're gonna do rock, and then we just like quiz each other. We had like no relationship for like 3 months.
Hey, I mean, it
we'd
paid
just
off.
be yelling at each other like,
right.
No, I'm not tired.
Get the song right.
Go back in the closet. But so you win. I'm sure that's an exhilarating moment.
Oh my God, unbelievable.
But we haven't talked about who hosts this show. If nobody knows, Jamie Foxx, which would be very awesome. You got to dance with Jamie Foxx.
Oh my God, he's awesome.
And then you also met another celebrity on the show. MC Hammer came out, right?
Oh my God, that's right. MC Hammer came out because it was one of like his songs that we got right, and then he came out. Oh no, we got his. I don't know if we got his right. Oh. I think so. I think we got his song right.
Say yeah.
Sure, whatever.
But yeah, he came out. That was pretty cool. It was a great. That was a great experience.
And so the crazy thing is, so you win the money, and there's like lawyers there, and there's like producers, and you're taking breaks. People think, oh, it's just all in a row. It's not.
There. Yeah, you're there for like 4.5 hours.
It's you're probably like mentally drained as well.
Very mentally drained, and we both had to pee very badly.
And you couldn't go?
No, you can't leave.
Oh.
But I don't care. I was like, I don't care. I don't care if
my body. She was not living up to her nickname.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, sure.
I've been naked on TV before. Watch me, right?
Surely someone has pissed their pants. Like
they've had
to, right? So you win the money, but here's the kick: A, you don't get the money immediately, and B, you can't tell anyone about it until the episode airs, right? Nope. So you go back to work, and everyone's just going, "Did you win? Did you win? Did you win?"
And everybody's like, "You could not have won," because I was waitressing. They're like, "If you won this money, you would not be here." I'm like, "Believe me." I have to be here because if I quit, then everybody would know like this girl freaking won money, you know. Like,
which is.
But you don't get the money for 90 days anyway.
So you got $1 million. Like, is it taxed? Let's talk about taxes. They take taxes out of this money. Oh,
terrible.
They do. So you didn't get $1 million.
No.
Oh man.
I'm not complaining, but it's really not even close to $1 million.
Well, I imagine it's probably a third of it.
40%, something like that.
Yeah, and it's so they take taxes when you get the money, and then they take them again.
What?
Because it's part of your income.
Right.
Man, that's not cool.
Yeah. So don't win the lottery now.
There you go. Yeah, pretty much. Unless it's $1 billion, and then you're good to go. Which it was up to at one point, which is wild to think about. So, so that obviously changed your life.
Well, I got to ask a question about this.
Sure, go ahead.
So you win the $1 million. Do you tell anyone? Do you tell anyone in your family?
They told us like you could tell your mother and father. Like that's it.
And if they tell people, it's okay.
Yeah. Like no. Yeah. But like so, I didn't tell my father because my father would have told everybody. Sorry, Dad, but you would have. But my husband told his father, and I told my mother, and they were both like, I mean, right after I didn't say this in the book because I don't know if they're gonna freaking try to sue me for the money back. No, they can't now. But anyway, they did say we could tell. Yeah. But my mother was like in shock. And my father-in-law was like, I mean, they were both like crying and they just couldn't believe it.
Did you have people coming out of the woodworks like?
No, thank
hey,
God.
What's up?
We really didn't. Nice. Isn't that crazy?
I know she does mention that in the book. It's kind of she's like, luckily nobody came out asking for money.
I mean, we did give our families money. Like we gave like his parents, my parents, my sister, his sister. You know, like. We gave our family a good amount of money.
We may have forgot to mention we charge a nominal fee to be on the podcast. So
I'll send you a check in the mail.
There you go.
But you are maybe. I thought you were gonna say like maybe we're long lost cousins or something.
That's where I
mean, Italian, Brooklyn. I mean,
we could be related.
Probably. So
we could be.
That's the route you should have went. Well, I was gonna say my parents. I would have kept my money, but hey, good for you for being charitable. That's nice to know. So I was that changed your life quite a bit. So how long did you keep serving after that? I mean, so the episode aired, thankfully, like a month, because you get the money 90 days from when it airs. Oh, wow. Okay.
So it aired like a month after we filmed it, thank God. But I still had to work, and people saw the episode, and they were like, what the hell are you doing working? Like, I just saw you win $1 million.
You know.
But, I mean, I was like, well, I'm not quite a millionaire.
I'm trying to stay humble, y'all. Trying to stay humble.
But all my friends at work were like, why don't you just take a loan and then pay it back and stop working? And I was like, no, because I don't know. I feel like I didn't want to blow the money.
Paying taxes again.
Exactly.
That's bad advice. Like, no, I can wait. Yeah. So were you checking the bank like?
Oh my God, every day. And then I was like, it's day 90. I told them, I was like, it's day 90. Where's the money?
You called them? You called the producer? What'd they say? They're like,
well, the person in charge of the money, I was like emailing them. I'm like, it's day 90. Where's the money? And they were like, oh, it'll go in at midnight. Mm-hmm. But once it did go in, I called like every day and was like, I can't believe. I printed out like the amount. I was like, I cannot believe this. I've never had money like that ever.
Yeah, me either. So, wow. Yeah, so that's I mean, most people cannot say that. You know, like you meet most people. That's what I'm saying. Like, this book is crazy, all the things that have happened to you. Mm-hmm. And so what's even crazier, so you win this money, life is good, things are going great, you know, you blah, blah, blah. And then you find out, like, you talk about you were, like, gaining weight. You're like, am I pregnant or am I? Talk about that experience.
Yeah, because I turned 40, like, this was 2 years ago. So I'm about to be 42, actually on Sunday is my birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. But I started, you know, I was like working out extra hard, eating better because I was turning 40. But I kept gaining all this weight and I was like, what the hell's going on? My stomach was like huge. I thought I could be pregnant. I don't know. So my husband made me go to the walk-in clinic. And as soon as I went in the office, the guy was like, oh my God, you have to go to the emergency room like right now. That's like not good at all. So anyway, I went to the emergency room. They did a scan. Thinking I was pregnant, they were like, you look pregnant. No, I had a 12-pound tumor on my uterus, and they were like, you have to have a hysterectomy like immediately, like next week, because it could have been cancerous. Thank God it was not cancerous, but I did have to have a full hysterectomy, which means that I can't have children, but I'm fine with it because my husband and I weren't planning on having children before it happened. But now that I can't, like sometimes I battle with it because. Yeah. You know, it's not my choice.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I could adopt, like if any of you need a mother or something. No?
I mean, if I get some of that money, yeah.
I need you to will me $1 million.
If you want to be adopted as an adult, I'll take you in. No.
There you go, Italian family, John.
No, but it was, you know, it was a little hard to deal with, but it was a blessing in disguise because I had a very long recovery, and so I decided to write this book. During my recovery.
So I did want to ask you a question. So before you said you had willed it, and you're not the only person I've heard say that before and it happened. Like that's got to be that's a superpower. Mm-hmm. Your husband, you said, kind of was like, you're crazy or whatever. Yeah. What did he say after the money? Because you obviously brought it back up. You're like, remember when I willed us all that money?
Oh, I still bring it up.
So what's his reaction?
It technically is her money because, you know, she brought it into existence.
Yeah.
Well, talk about your philosophy. Like you mentioned a book in there a couple times that you read and kind of what and you.
Yeah, Esther Hicks. She's like my guru.
Okay.
Her name is Esther Hicks. She's amazing. I started listening to her, and once I started listening to her, like all the things I wanted, I was like willing them to happen. And I was like, this is insane. But I mean, I still struggle with it. Sometimes it might not work out the way
I mean,
that I want it. But I totally believe in like putting it out to the universe. This is what I want. And focusing on it like in a relaxed state. I meditate, and I'll just when I said I was gonna will the $1 million, before I knew about the show, I just would sit in bed and be like, okay, picture $1 million. I'm gonna get $1 million. This is what I'm gonna do with it. Like, and I would do it every night, and then I got this email to be on the show. It was just like I just like yelled it out there.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people say, if you put that positive stuff out, I'm sure.
But it's a practice. It's
right.
like a job, it's work.
Well, here lately, a lot of our guests have had a lot of really good luck. And maybe your good luck was just proactive for being on the show.
That's true. A lot of people have had some good things. Like
people have run into us and everything. It's just, I think it was us.
We had
so you're welcome.
Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
You're welcome.
Taking credit for that. Yeah, we had Leland Statham on. He wins broadcaster of of the entire United States. I was like, all right, you're welcome for that. Yeah, we've had a couple of things happen, but I don't know. Maybe we're just.
John Cooper's gonna win the mayoral because he was on the show.
Exactly.
A few weeks ago, I met Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, who are female wrestlers.
Oh yeah.
Now they're the tag team champions.
No.
So I'm just saying,
something's going on in this room.
Maybe it's John. I don't know.
You're welcome.
Because it ain't me, but.
So is writing something that you've always done, or did you have to make an effort to write this book?
No, I've always since I would say middle school and high school, I was really good at writing. I always wrote. I used to write for Yahoo News in my first years in Nashville.
Really?
I did articles and stuff. But I wrote my own comedy. I wrote my sister and I had a show called The Coco and Wee Wee Show, and we wrote basically wrote the script and the ideas and stuff. So I've always had a humorous way of writing, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So it came very easy.
I mean, writing a book is not that easy, especially about your life. So I had to just pour out whatever was on my mind and then organize it. It took probably a year and a half ish.
Now, you said self-published. Did you have someone edit your work, or?
Well, I had an editor, and then when she started reading the book, she figured out that I had money, and she tried to charge me $20,000.
Oh my God! What?
So I had to be like, no.
Wow.
So basically, my husband helped me edit. My sister, me, my sister, and my husband, and I got Grammarly. Thank you to Grammarly.
Okay.
But yeah, it was.
I love that she's reading the book. She's like, yeah. Whoa, what's this Beat Shazam? Oh, baby, we hit the jackpot.
All of a sudden, towards the end, she's like, well, this is going to cost way more than I said I was going to charge you.
Oh, that's terrible.
No,
that is
I don't
not
need your
cool
help.
It's you got to page 56, didn't you?
She's got
you
highlighted.
Googled me or something. Something. No.
So you self-published it, and now it's available. It's been selling out.
I know, but I don't know how many books I sold until October. It takes 90 days to find out.
Well, it's selling out. You're obviously selling what the demand is from people, so it must be successful
Hopefully
to some
good.
degree. And it's a really good book. I mean, even whatever the numbers are, I mean, it is a really good read. I'll probably let you read it.
I would love to.
Or John, I don't know.
I have an extra book with me.
Oh, look at that! I'll make them pay for it. But anyway. But it's fantastic. But
if you give it to me for free, I'll edit your next book.
Oh.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
That is not a deal for
and
you.
you just said that to the whole entire world. So.
Oh, John attacked someone with a $20,000 retainer. But John, just sign these papers. You don't need to read them. They're good to go. Oh my God, John. I don't even know what to say about it. So you got a connection to one of the new kids, right?
Yes, Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Just one of the new kids. It was one of the main.
We have a connection. I was on Jenny McCarthy's Sirius XM show last week, and it was amazing because
that's her husband.
Yeah, she's married to Donnie Wahlberg.
So you were having dreams about whatever the dreams were.
Did you will Donnie Wahlberg?
I said whatever. I said whatever the dreams were.
I will Donnie Wahlberg.
And so you go to a New Kids on the Block concert, end up going backstage somehow, and then hanging out with Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
I mean that's insane. I can't even imagine that. That is never. I don't know. You met the lead singer of Weezer in a back alley one time, right?
In a back alley.
But David, David is a
whatever happened there.
You're a pretty
He's in the
big
basement
fan of New Kids
with our last.
Are
guest.
you?
No, I'm not. He's lying. He's being funny.
My sister is just older than me. Her name's Crystal. Also goes by Chrissy. She was a huge New Kids on the Block fan. She had the cards, the collector's cards.
Yeah. I still have cards.
And she would make me. She'd want to memorize them, and she'd have me quiz her.
Huh.
And so, like, I ended up knowing, like, half their birthdays and stuff just because
Oh my God, what's Donnie Wahlberg's birthday?
I don't remember Donnie's. I know, like I think Joey's is, like, December 30th or something.
31st.
Who's the family? Who's the family?
We obviously
you
know
need
who
to
the
point
fan
your
is.
fingers over there.
So,
Me and Wee Wee are the same age. You can know that I was not a fan of New Kids in the
Oh,
Block.
I
growing
think
up.
you might have
Shame in that.
secretly been.
Yeah, there's no shame.
I would admit, I like some dumb stuff. My first concert ever was a Barry Manilow concert. I would come clean with it if I liked I like Kelly Clarkson. I like Britney Spears. I
You're
would
into
be
the
honest.
pop. You're
I
into
like
the pop.
I mean, I would admit it.
What's the karaoke you do?
Oh, that's insane.
Oh, I get
Which
them all
one?
confused. I'm
It's
sorry.
gonna be me.
bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Oh.
It always kills. It always kills. It's
Where
always,
does this go down?
where do we
Almost
go?
whenever we find a place
Whenever
to
we
go,
go
yeah.
somewhere, that's always
They're
my
youth.
go-to. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to
usually-
see this.
You should. I mean, usually a shirt comes off or something. I'm jumping into the
No.
crowd.
It's either that,
John?
Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy,
Yeah.
or I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys.
And I'm in
No
I'm in the
way.
crowd. I'm like interacting
He
with the
starts
ladies.
drinking a little bit. The shirt comes off.
Yeah.
He
Were
starts
you the
waxing.
lead singer of the band?
I was. Well, me and him.
we traded
were.
off. A lot of times,
Oh.
whoever kind of wrote the lyrics.
Well, here's the kick.
But
John
he's-
can actually sing. I can't. So he should have been the lead singer, but you know.
So
whatever.
what are your go-to karaoke's? You obviously do karaoke. If you had a
Yes?
I haven't done karaoke. I sing in
What
the
would
shower.
you? What would you go to?
I'd probably do like "Killing Me Softly" by the Fugees or like Rihanna. I like
Yeah.
anything by Rihanna.
Yeah, she's good.
that's some good songs.
Yeah,
you know,
sure,
some
yeah.
like urban stuff.
Well, we can go karaoke any time you
We
want.
should go
and-
karaoke.
Okay, we can do that.
I would love that.
John will sing. He's a good singer.
What's your go-to?
Oh, go ahead. I can
It
tell you.
depends on the crowd. If
He
it's
used to be a karaoke DJ.
I used to DJ.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Did you do karaoke?
I mean, I will.
He's got
but
one good song in him. It's
What? What is it?
Him.
His.
What? No, what?
It's
B-52's Love Shack. And
Oh, that's a great.
and
That's a great one.
he sings the guy part, and I'll sing the girl part.
Oh my
It works
God.
out.
I was actually thinking about me and Lee doing karaoke, and I think it would be really good for us to do Under Pressure with him doing David Bowie's part.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to Under Pressure, David Bowie sounds like he's a vampire.
Oh my
Do
God.
I sound like a vampire?
I think you could pull off a
Is that-
vampire.
oh.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, David Bowie.
The tale of knowing what this world is about. That's what he sounds like.
Sounds like you got both parts, man.
And so,
What are your go-to songs,
but,
John?
yeah, if it's
Georgia, he plays
I'll
freaking
do
Georgia.
Georgia on my
Oh,
mind.
Yeah.
I'll do
Shut up.
Edwin McCain. I'll be.
Oh, you have that style. Of
Yeah.
He
But
goes.
sometimes I'll do
he does the
some
deep
rock
tracks.
stuff too. I'll do Shut Up and Dance with Me.
Oh
I'll
my
do
God.
He doesn't
Do you
mind.
like
Everybody
do you
Talks.
like dance while you're
when
doing-
I do those songs, I'll get up there. And
He,
He
jump,
has
he
a
jumps
routine.
around.
He
He
has a
doesn't.
routine.
He doesn't dance.
Oh my God, I
He's
want
like
to go
5,
karaoke.
6, 7,
He's
8.
good. So we were at a coffee house one night, and this place was—I've already told this before, but new people. We were in a coffee house. This place was packed. I mean, it was full capacity, and we're sitting with Pete, and John's trying to impress some ladies or something. So I know how to get him going. I go, John, show him you can sing. This dude stands up in the middle of this coffee house and just starts singing like Edmund McCain, and I was embarrassed, but I mean, just because I get nervous around
Acapella?
John. Yeah, and he killed, man. That place went nuts, man. I was like, oh my God,
Get
dude.
out of here.
Yeah.
That's my thing. So
Oh wow.
His claim is he is the third best singer in Nashville. Did you say that? Did he say that?
Who's the
so those
first?
words. I mean, first of all,
back pedal.
when I
I think
said
it's
it,
Big and Rich are
I
number
was-
1 and 2 for
I was
John.
talking about people that weren't signed, just like people
Okay.
I knew
Oh,
personally.
unsigned.
That's still
Oddly enough, my first choice is somebody that actually is signed now,
who?
Brandon Heath.
There you go.
Some
He's
guy.
he's a Christian music singer
wow.
now.
Okay.
At the time, I mean, he's been nominated for a Grammy now, but
Oh my
at the
gosh.
time he went to high school with us. I'm cashing on every cool point I ever had, which wasn't much in the first place. I was in show choir in high school, and he was in the
That's
show
not-
choir with me.
That's not cool.
What was it called?
That's not good.
What was it?
Sophisticats.
And then, so the other claim to
cool.
fame to John is, so there was an artist named Scat Man. Okay, I'm sure. I don't know if
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you know Scat Man. Okay, so I play it for my kids now, and they just crack up. They're so stupid. I love that song. Number one, I do stand by. I don't love it ironically. I actually love the song. John's big claim to fame is like he went to London with the Sophisticats, and he comes back and he goes, You know what the greatest moment was? I had a scat solo in front of everybody. I went, oh my God, don't ever tell me that.
You did?
So,
I did.
John.
He probably knows it. He could
you
probably do it right now.
You want to do a little scat solo for us right
please,
now? Yeah, he will.
please.
He will.
I can bust out a little scat.
Oh,
Yes.
It was
We
for the
apologize.
song.
Oh my God, please.
It was for the song Blue Skies.
Okay, go
It's
ahead.
a really, really old song. It came out
You
in
and
the
Brandon Heath.
1920s. It was actually there was several people that tried out auditioned for the solo, and it came down to me and Brandon. And
You beat him out.
well, actually,
He beat
no.
him. He beat him
I
like
am the second best singer.
Actually, he lost his voice and
They couldn't decide which one they wanted to give it to. So what the teacher did, what the choir director did, was she doubled the length of the solo, and we.
Oh, you both got to.
We both. I did a part. He did a part, and then we scattered together.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
John, look. Just
Scat
get
it
to the
together.
freaking song, man,
Scat
okay?
together,
You're really
bro.
beating it out. All right, here we go.
All right. Ba ya ba dee ha shin da ya ba do ba shi ba 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 dwee da ba do ba da dwee ba do ba shi ba 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 ma dee ha ya ba ba shi da ba do da da shi ya ba ba shi bubbly 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 bow.
There you go. John's scat solo.
Some people lay in bed and will $1 million, and some people lay in bed and will scat solos. You know, it takes
I
everyone
like
to
it.
make the world
I
go
think
round.
I made the wrong
Maybe we
choice.
can teach each other. You know, you teach me how to scat. I'll teach you how to.
So
How to
will
get
$1
$1 million.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
do
That's a
that.
fair trade-off. That works out for everybody.
Completely even.
I can scat too all of a sudden.
Like a vampire.
So I do have to ask you a question because it's a question that we've been trying to settle a hot debate on the
Oh,
show,
boy. Here we go.
and it's
The answer is yes.
I feel
Italian
that-
people
I-
need to stick together.
I feel this is a
Okay.
personal attack on me that fails constantly, but go ahead with your
Yes,
fake
first
question,
off,
your
it
fake
is-
It
news
didn't
question.
fail last week.
first off, it is a personal attack on you. But
Uh-oh.
how do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
No good.
Amen, brother. Yeah, I knew the Italians would
I'm
come in.
Italian. I can't.
Is
it's,
he?
it's against my
I'm Italian.
religion.
Is he? Is he? Because he loves
What,
it.
will you like pineapple?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
I do.
yes.
That's a
I do
sin.
like
That's
it.
my
It's-
grandmother would call that a sin.
Thank you. See, they set this up. They fail most times. They had some who was Amanda.
You like the pineapple?
I do like pineapple.
Oh,
You
on
don't
pizza.
I hate
you
it.
don't
It's so
pineapple on it.
whack.
No.
I like Italian style.
I'm a progressive. Okay.
You're whack. Look, you want pizza? It's got to be Italian style,
Yeah.
thin crust. None of this deep dish nonsense.
No.
Take that crap back to Chicago. That's not even real. That's a calzone.
Well, let the woman speak about
I'm
how
speaking.
she likes pizza.
Okay,
I'm
she
from
said-
New York. I live in Nashville now, but you know, New York pizza, it's the best pizza.
Have you
Sorry,
had, yeah.
Chicago. But
So what are we talking like
Boom.
pepperoni? Just
I'm talking about grandma pizza. Has anybody have grandma pizza? It's like Sicilian, which is square, thin crust,
Yes.
fresh mozzarella. Oh, I can't say mozzarella. My mother would get mad.
Uh-oh.
It's mozzarella,
Mozzarella. Love that.
sauce, and basil, fresh basil.
Nice.
That's my favorite pizza. Nobody in my family adds anything onto the pizza except maybe pepperoni, but they think that's like you should not touch pizza. Just leave it the way it is.
Now,
That's all you need. Don't.
I'm
You're
just-
done.
I'm just saying.
Number one, you've been stripped of your Italian heritage.
If I-
Number one
Yeah.
on this
If
episode.
I
You're
go,
Lost
done.
it.
if I go to
Exposed.
Joey's,
Yeah.
Oh, Joey's, I haven't been.
I'm not getting pineapple on that
Oh,
pizza.
so you're embarrassed. You're almost in the closet with your pizza. dude.
No, because
Yeah, it is. John, slide on out,
I'm
baby.
just saying. No, I'm just saying like for Papa John's. Yeah, I'll get
Do
the
they
Hawaiian
offer
style.
pineapple at Joey's?
I don't even
You know what?
Do
I
they?
went last Friday.
I wouldn't be surprised if
and
they didn't.
Someone did. Yeah, and I
Oh.
almost, Joey's. Have you been to Joey's house?
No, but
pizza?
I heard it's
It is.
It's
Oh,
legit.
so good. He is softened. In his younger days, he would have thrown that dude out on the street.
Oh,
but he's
really?
kind of older now. He's he's got to make money. But all right. So what are you saying? You're
I'm
faker
saying
over here.
with when you have
So when I
like,
go around real Italians, I don't do
Really?
it. When I go around
no, it's not
when I
about.
go around the regular people,
American.
I'm just saying that like really authentic style pizza. I agree with you. The pineapple doesn't go on
okay.
it, but
Yeah.
Hear this
But
guy.
if you're in your privacy of your own home, then you
I
can.
know. If you ordered Papa John's right now, I'll take
Yeah.
it. I'll take it Hawaiian style. But I mean,
Yeah.
You
My husband does.
wobbling
He likes the
wacky.
pineapple.
Oh,
It's good. It's good.
No.
Okay, so we do
No.
have this week a very special Dear John.
Oh,
I
so
think
every
we
week,
can-
John here tries to give advice to people that write in. This is one for the
Oh.
ages. We saved this one just for you when you came on. So here's the theme song, and then we're going to get into it. He's not good at it, by the way. Spoiler alert.
least I'm consistent. I'm not good at anything. So
this is a longer one, but this one's...
That's what she said.
This one's crazy. All right, go ahead. Lee's going to read it, and then John's going to do whatever. All right, go ahead, Lee.
Okay, this one comes in. Dear John, I have a serious concern, and I'm certain you can offer valuable and unique insight. After all, the opinion of 3 intelligent men is so rarely available. She's already off.
Yeah.
I am something of what I would call an expert blunt sword recipient, as most married women and some married men are. While I sincerely enjoy my part of blunt sword practice, it appears my husband does not. He rarely wields his blunt sword at all. I have discussed this with him, and he assures me that this is not a reflection of my skill or appearance, and he will resume practice for a short while. However, I find his enthusiasm lacking. We have been blunt sword companions for 20 plus years, and in that time have established a small corporation with 1 location and 3 employees that stayed with us around 18 years each. The last employee has tendered a notice to vacate the premise shortly. This means just he and I will be left to watch copious amounts of television and talk during commercials, ensuring that we don't miss a moment of The Bachelor or Bachelorette. Would it be acceptable for me to locate another blunt sword practice partner? I believe perhaps I could enhance my own skills and boost the enjoyment of another partner. Fortunately, due to surgical intervention, I am unable to suffer some of the effects of reckless blunt sword practice. Provided I utilize the required safety gear, perhaps I could engage in such practice without injuring the pride of my husband or causing him embarrassment. What are your thoughts? From Jane Doe.
Did you catch all that?
A LARPing group?
Yeah, John. That's what it's about. Do you want me to break down what the actual email is about?
Yeah.
The wife enjoys sex. Her husband does not. She has 2 or 3 kids. They're all gone now, so all their husband and her do is sit around and watch TV. They don't have any sex, apparently. She's wanting to know, and she can still get pregnant, apparently. I'm just reading.
Cannot.
Oh, she cannot get pregnant. Okay, good. So you can't get pregnant. So she says, should she find another blunt sword partner and not let her husband know, or should she just suffer for the rest of her life?
Or is there another alternative that only John can come up with?
Maybe he's got something.
He's got something.
Look at Johnny.
I mean, you got to be blunt with your husband. Say, hey, look, you need to break it off, or we gonna break it off.
Is that really what you got?
I got some needs.
Yeah, what is she doing? Maybe she's not. Maybe she's not enticing.
It could be. I
mean, she needs to have a really like.
She said she talked to him about it, and he's like
But she talked.
Did she girl talk like, honey, you okay? Or is she like, Mama needs some?
I would say first she needs to stop calling it blunt sword practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that went right. I mean, I thought she was with padded swords and stuff. Like, wait, she's a dork.
She's married to a John is the problem. He's like, I don't really want to LARP. I don't enjoy it.
She said that
I don't want people seeing me with that stuff.
Pull it back. She said she's talked to him about it, and then he'll do it, but it's not very good for like a short period of time. So what do you do when you're in this marriage that's been 20 plus years and things are just not going good?
You need to crunch up some Viagra and put it in this spaghetti sauce.
God damn.
Wow.
Are you implying?
Honey, are you having a hard time? Well, Mama's got the cure.
Oh, Wee Wee. Do you have anything to add to that?
Maybe she needs to like spice it up.
Right?
I don't know. Get some sexy lingerie. I don't know how. I don't know. She's into that. I don't know. Entice him. Do something different. Tie him up. I don't know.
What if he's just not interested anymore? He's just done.
If he's just not interested, then I say bye-bye.
And I mean that's kind of the crux of her question, I guess. Is it okay for her to go have an affair in this relationship?
If he doesn't find out.
I think,
what if she asks him if she?
No, she's like, if you
go
get it to
there you go. Hey, swinging, baby.
I need to get it from someplace else.
Yeah.
So be honest.
I don't think she should do it behind his back.
No.
So you just took her advice. Your advice, Lily, was sneak medication into his drink.
Drug him.
That's a perfect. That's a good idea.
I mean, she did say tie him up, so maybe she stole some of his advice too.
All right. Okay, so we're saying she should be honest with him and just say, hey, I'm either stepping out or stepping whatever.
On it.
On it. Stepping on it or stepping out.
I think
Get in or get out.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I kind of see a divorce in this woman's future. Let's be honest. There's bigger problems in this relationship,
Could be.
right?
It could be.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So go be free.
So what are you sticking with? Talk it or Viagra? Which one, John?
I mean, I was joking, obviously, when I said that.
I don't know about that.
But, I mean, I don't think that she should cheat on him behind his back, but she needs to say, look, this is something that's extremely important to me, and if you're not doing this, then it doesn't feel like you love me.
Okay.
So do this, or
I'm out. All right. Well, there you go. That's one for the ages. That's Dear John. Oh, my goodness. All right, so that's Dear John. If you want to contact us, hit us up on social media, or you can send us an email, as this person did, at bybpod@gmail.com, and we will gladly respond to any of your emails. So we talked about tons of things. So you're married, your husband's a musician.
Yes.
You want to talk about that? Plus, he's got the clothing line, right?
He does. He has bombers and sleeves. Bombers and sleeves. It's geared towards like artists, musicians who their clothing brand motto is like bomb your boundaries.
Okay, I like that.
So like, go for your dreams, fulfill your dreams, bomb your boundaries, F fear, fuck fear.
Right, yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it's an awesome clothing brand. You can go on bombersandsleeves.com. They have hats, shirts, tanks. They're about to have some hoodies.
Yeah, you're wearing the hat, but it's backwards.
I am. It's backwards. Sorry.
It looks good. We follow him on Instagram, and I love the design.
They have great stuff.
It is really good stuff. Mm-hmm. So he's a musician as well. How's that going? He is.
He's a songwriter. He was in a band. He doesn't want to he's amazing. He should be an artist, but he just wants to write songs. So he writes with a lot of country pop artists right now. He doesn't have any hits yet, but hopefully he will soon.
If you will it.
If he wills it, it will come.
There you go.
I tell him, focus on it.
I mean, it's a big town, though. So sometimes you got to write for a while before.
Yeah, he's been writing for I think it's over 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but now he's just getting to write with bigger artists.
Right. And he's
still
young.
Yeah, he's still young. He's only in his 30s.
Really young.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, slow down.
I'm robbing the cradle.
Hey, she said it.
I'm robbing the cradle.
So that's good. So you got that going on. You got he proposed to you on the beach, and he broke out and had the flu. And
oh my God, yeah, he got the deadly flu right after he proposed. It was terrible. Finally, I was like, after all these years, someone wants to marry me.
Yes, I'm gonna be sick.
Did you think that was a universe in you?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, what? Are you scared or something? Like, what the hell?
So what happened to the Coco Wee Wee show? Is that ever coming back?
I think it's going to come back because I've had a lot of people request it to come back.
We'll talk about what is.
So the Coco, my sister and I and my niece all lived together. We used to live together in my 1-bedroom apartment because my sister went through a bad divorce. And so the three of us lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and her ex-husband lived directly in the apartment next to us. Mm-hmm. Like, we could hear him, burp, fart, pee, whatever. And so we were like, so one of my best friends was like, you need to, film this, because this is ridiculous. This is, shit you can't even make up. Mm-hmm. So we started filming it. So it's it was an improv. We would write the basis of the show, and then we would improv the acting. It was like a comedy reality show, kind of like a Curb Your Enthusiasm style. You know how they improv everything? Mm-hmm. But it's humorous. It's on YouTube still. They're only 10-minute episodes, Coco and Wee Wee Show. But we actually got attention from Hollywood producers. They came and filmed a sizzle reel and tried to pitch a show, but it didn't get picked up, unfortunately. But now I think we're going to dive back into it.
It's good. It's funny stuff.
Yeah, it's really funny.
I mean, that was the big thing. When we, as I interviewed for the last podcast, I mean, your comedy really stood out. You can get a bunch of reality people, and some of them are funny. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn was on Road Rules. He's hilarious. Mm-hmm. He's a stand-up comedian. That's why he stands out.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's definitely funny stuff. And I do it again, And like I said, and we saw her do stand-up, me and Lee did, and thoroughly enjoyed it. So I will say that. So, yeah, it's good to go. Okay, so we got all that out of the way. Talk about the book. How can they get the book? How can they do all that good stuff?
So you can get the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target. It's also on, if you live in Nashville, you can go to Parnassus because they have it on the shelves.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah, and if you live in smaller towns, independent bookstores, most of them carry it as well. But Target, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Those are like the main sites that have it.
It's fantastic. How much is it? It's not much.
It's
like,
$9.99, but they do
That's a
sales
deal.
all the time. Like now, I think it's like $8 or something.
That's
so
a
they
steal.
always run sales. Yes.
If you go to
It's a
Starbucks, that's one cup of coffee
exactly.
right there.
And it's an easy read, and it's funny. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll inspire you. Maybe you'll will yourself $1 million.
There you go.
Who knows?
Hopefully so. Now, how can people follow you on social media and all that fun stuff?
Okay, so on Instagram, I am Christina Wee Wee. On Twitter, I am @thatweewee. But if you type in Christina Wee Wee, you can find me there too. And then on Facebook, it's F them all big and small, because I can't say the F word on Facebook.
Right. Yeah,
they don't like it.
Hoity-toity
Christina Wee
Facebook.
Wee. Christina with a CH.
There we go. So go get this book, people.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I personally read it, and I'm telling you, it's a good book. So go check it out. Go follow her on social media. Watch her as you continue to do whatever you're going to do. You're doing a bunch of things.
See what I manifest next.
I mean, you were even at the Rock and Pod Expo a couple weeks back.
Oh, that was fun.
Hanging out with KISS people and selling.
Yeah, so much fun.
So that's good to go. Well, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, BYB Pod, Twitter, BYB Pod. Hit us up on the old YouTube at Blame Your Brother. We're on Instagram. You can find us. It's all at blameyourbro.com. That's our website. We've got articles. We've got the past episodes, all of our social media links. You can buy the Blame Your Brother shirt if you want to do that. And then we're streamed on Thursdays on RadioVegas.rocks. And then Friday we're on ComingRightUp.org if you want to listen to us there. Or just go grab the podcast, check out the YouTube show, whatever you want to do. It's all good. Wee Wee, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you. I had so much fun. You guys
so
are
much
awesome.
fun. Oh, it was a blast. So follow her, follow us, get the book, do it. And I guess, Lee, with that being said, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
Welcome to Memory of the Week. Today is Thursday, August 22nd, the 234th day of 2019. There are 131 days of
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve
on
this
August
message.
22nd, 1851, the schooner America outraced more than a dozen British vessels off the English coast to win a trophy that came to be known as the America's Cup. That is today's Memory of the Week. David, John, and Lee.